a rough night for both of us because we both thought the Patriots would win. We both thought the Patriots would cover.
Yeah, we did. We definitely did. But, I mean, you said it. I mean, first off, it's a crazy league. It's a matchup league. It's, a team that maybe the mojo was affected by the quarterback situation. I think you could dive into that. But the Patriots, the last few weeks, I think we all thought, wow, it's really heading in the right direction. And you said it, man. I mean, it was a masterclass ass whooping. It really was. You take away 6 plays of the football game and you go, the Bears kind of dominated in every phase and every category and every moment where there was, oh, wait, here's a stalemate of a play. The Bears came out on top with, some miraculous, individual feat or whatever else. So you don't see the Patriots get physically whooped and then really out-coached to a degree too. Just out-schemed a little bit on a home game in the night where he could break George Halas's record against the Chicago Bears. Yeah, I think it was all kind of shocking to me as I was sitting there watching that for sure.
Well, as the saying goes, when you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. When you have 2 quarterbacks and a crappy defense, it doesn't matter. Last night,
right.
The defense was not good. There's a lot
to unpack here. Yeah.
Right. And, we managed to talk 40 minutes about the Cardinals-Saints before they played on Thursday somehow. We could talk for 2 hours just about this game and all of the angles.
Yeah.
Let me throw one at you that I just thought of.
Start?
I mentioned this yesterday to Miles Simmons. Well, you mentioned the scheming that the Bears did. And they did, I think, a decent amount of self-scouting of themselves before this game.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Let me throw something at you. We spend so much time trying to brainstorm ways to make it easier for teams who play on Sunday to turn around and play on Thursday. I've noticed a trend here, and I'm going to chart it after the show. There have been multiple teams that have played Thursday and haven't played again until the following Monday. And, man, that 11-day bye and a half or almost full bye. It's not mini bye. It's not full bye. I don't know what I want to call it. 3/4 of a bye.
Yeah.
But that 11 days, maybe that makes a difference, right? And we saw it with the Bears. We saw it before that with the Broncos. Not a whole lot of self-scouting going on when the Broncos had 11 days. So that doesn't prove the trend. The Ravens have it coming up from Thursday to the following Monday.
Right.
I wonder whether that extra 24 hours really just makes a difference. It lets you do more of a reset like you would do during a full-blown bye.
Well, there's more of a time to, finagle, self-scout thyself. Oh, we got an extra day of, hey, let's find some extra creative plays here on this extra day to come up with, a blitz plan. Let's look around the league and how are teams stopping the all-out blitz right now? Let's steal a few plays from that and infuse it in there. I think that's where you have an extra day to go. Well, what do we need to do to get better? We can have more of an in-depth meeting where you're not worried about, hey, it's the grind of the normal week and we got to keep up. So you have a meeting on the Sunday, 8 days before the Monday game where you talk about there's got to be some philosophical changes. I think that's the advantage of that right there, to where, you can look at yourself and go, wait, we have tendencies. Let's break that. Wait. Okay, let's look at ourselves. What can we add into the offense that gives us a little creative element that the team that we play next won't be ready for? I think that's where it really comes in handy, Mike, is that aspect. And then, hey, we got a little extra walkthrough time. We got a little extra meeting time because of that. The team's a little bit more rested. So I think it's a valid point. There's no question about that. And we saw one team that was clearly ready to go, had to answer for everything really throughout the night, let alone just physically winning the battle like individually man versus man too.
And to their credit, the Bears didn't fold the tents after that loss Thursday night, week 6 to the Commanders.
Right.
They easily could have. They easily could have said, oh, woe is us. They fought and they scratched and they clawed and they still couldn't pull it off. Very easy to just throw in the towel. But, hey, we said it on Thursday when the 2-4 Saints were getting ready to face the 2-4 Cardinals. Huge difference between 3-4 and 2-5. And the Bears saw that moment and they thrust themselves right back into it. They're tied with the Packers now at 3-4. Wild card berths will be available. There's at least going to be one up for grabs for a team that's at or around 500. Now, you need the Giants or the Cowboys to cool off a little bit to have two wild card berths in play in the NFC, but the Bears right in the thick of things, and this is a building block game. This is the perfect time to have a game like this. You come out of this feeling pretty good about yourself.
Yeah.
Now you got a short week. You got 5 days until Sunday, but you have to feel like this is a positive. Oh, and they get a chance to knock down the Cowboys a little bit because they go to Dallas. But, hey, we just won in Foxborough. If we won in Foxborough, we can give the Cowboys a run for the money. That's the mindset they have to take in there.
Well, yeah, agreed. And again, I think, to what you said about the extra time, the self-scouting, the coaching itself, what this win does for itself. The Bears are another one of those teams that, again, maybe are exceeding expectations where we look at them and go, whoa, they're 3-4. We didn't really think this. But I would also put them in that handful of teams, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Falcons. Who else? I'm missing somebody else that I wanted to throw into that mix there, but are managing the game the right way too, Mike. That's the thing that, these aren't the aggressive teams. They're not, it's just 4th down and we're aggressive. It's, let's punt the ball, let's play defense. We'll come back and give another crack at it the next time. That was another thing, Mike, that jumped out to me about the game last night. First off, Matt Eberflus is doing an incredible job. We know the Bears are not the most talented team, but they are building something there. And every week it's physical, tough, in the football game, no matter who they play. They outplayed Washington, hung in there with the Giants at 6-1, and it came down to the very end. We know they beat the 49ers, hung in there with the Green Bay Packers. But I don't know if you noticed this last night, Mike. Eberflus is really managing the game. Eberflus, in my opinion, looked like he was also involved in the play calling a little bit. Did you see how many times he was standing next to, Luke Getsy? Exactly. Thank you for saving me there. Where, he had his hand and he's telling him, he's putting his sheet over, hey, yeah, run the ball here. Or, yeah, I like that quarterback run here. And all of that. That to me, I saw that, and I'm going to go back and watch again when the show's over because ESPN showed a number of clips where I felt like those type of conversations were going on. He wasn't going to let hey, it's 3rd and 15, drop back and just let him try to make magic. It was no, let's just throw the screen and, get in field goal position, or throw the screen and we'll punt it out, whatever. And I found that to be impressive and interesting, too, as I was watching the game live there last night.
Well, here's the reality. You got to take ownership of the team. That's your right. Team, no matter how you got that job.
No doubt.
Defensive or offensive coordinator, the Bill Belichick transition. We don't think of Bill Belichick. Now, he's been a head coach for so long, you don't think of him as a coordinator one way or the other, but we think of Andy Reid as an offensive genius. We just think of Bill Belichick as a football genius on both sides.
Right.
Except for last night. And I think Matt Eberflus realizes if this is going to work, and look around the league. We're going to talk about the Broncos later and the struggles of Nathaniel Hackett, but in that first year as a head coach, you prove to yourself and everyone else whether you are suited for the job. And Eberflus had that 11 days to take a step back and really decide, am I going all in here? Am I going to do what I need to do to be as good at this job as I can be? And when you consider the personnel decision they made in the offseason, they had some cap issues, so they couldn't really do the kind of tear down and build up that other teams are doing around young quarterbacks. And I was on The Score in Chicago yesterday, and they asked me, did we pick the wrong year to try to do this partial tear down because the Packers aren't good and who knows about the Vikings? Yeah, but look at next year. The path is open for somebody else to rise up and take over that division, and why not the Bears? And if they keep playing like they did last night, they will be the new kings of the NFC North sooner rather than later. So there's a lot to feel good about. And it's just one game, and it can all go to hell on Sunday in Dallas. It could. We don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. I tweeted this last night. As a fan, I love it when stuff like this happens and we're reminded that we don't know anything. As somebody who's supposed to have a rough idea of what the hell is going to happen, I hate it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.